Today we're looking at a flower which is commonly known as a bluebell. It comes in many different colour variants. Here we've got blue and white next to me, but it can come in grey and lighter and darker variants of the blue. I'm wearing gloves because they're known to be quite poisonous, so when you do try and plant these plants, you need to be careful for that around your dogs and animals. Bluebells are named bluebells because they have a bell-like structure on the leaf. As you can see on this one, it sort of encapsulates the plant. If you're aiming to plant bluebells and grow them yourselves at home instead of them wildly growing in places like the forest, the best time that they come out and flower is between mid-April to May and can last until the summer. The one that we've got here is slightly drooping, so it's coming up to June time anyway, so the season's coming to an end for this flower. So bearing that in mind when you're planting near or planting in a bed where these flowers are meant for the summer use, and plant near flowers that will have the same amount of impact for that period of time. If you are going to grow bluebells for flowering in the summer, they're best to be grown in moist soil with partial shade. However, this can be altered, so it's about 50-50, so 50% sun, 50% shade, and you'll get the most out of the plant. Bluebells are what we call perennial plants, meaning they'll come back every year, or it's a recurring a pattern, so they'll flower every year. You can deadhead these plants if you want to improve the look on your garden. However, be careful, as this may impact the amount of growth that the plant gets next year. If the leaves become yellow on the bluebell plant, you can cut them off and you can cut the bluebell down. That will maximise the amount of growth for the next year. If you would like to grow bluebells in the upcoming years, you can lift up the bulbs once the bluebell has finished flowering that year, and then they can be moved and replanted for the next year. Obviously this can happen naturally. Obviously you can see them. I have not planted these in the woods, they've just grown here by themselves. That is perfectly fine. You can do that if you either run out of time or just want to see them grow naturally. That's how they've grown before. Bluebells often grow in swathes, meaning they will grow together as a big bunch of flowers, so it's very odd to see the individual flowers by themselves. The reason why they are odd and by themselves here is because squirrels have dug up the bulbs from the big clumps of bluebells, and they move them thinking it's food, and they get moved along, and that's why these are by themselves. Let's go take a look at a big group of bluebells. These are the bluebells that I was telling you about, the big swathes of bluebells where they're seen more in a group in the woodlands. With bluebells in the woods like here, bees love to get the nectar from the bluebells, and bluebells can attract butterflies and hoverflies as well. So if you do end up planting them in the garden, you'll incorporate that amount of nature and wildlife into your garden as well. So you should look out for your butterflies and hoverflies. One of the most asked questions normally is, what can you grow bluebells next to? Obviously, bearing in mind, I've said before, they're poisonous. They're often grown next to primroses and ferns. However, bluebells can often be grown in larger quantities like this by themselves, as it adds a more natural look. I would consider planting bluebells underneath trees in squares to grow well with the grass underneath, adds that more natural wild look. This will also allow space for other animals to live underneath, as well as bees, because bees love to have their hives within the ground, and having overgrown grass and bluebells provides that bit of extra cover for them. When planting bluebells, try not to plant them too deep or too shallow, as this could lead to the plant not fully flowering well, or it not coming up at all, or the flower could come up late and you won't get the amount of growth that you would hope for. For all the garden fanatics out there, this bluebell belongs to the family Asparagiaceae, or I think I've said that right anyway. they'll be down in the description. In simpler terms, the flower that belongs into this family have petals that are bell-shaped or similar, or they fall into the tube-shaped sort of flower. They're like lilies, really. Bluebells, you can say, are recognised by their drooping state. As you can see, the ones here are drooping down, so that's how you recognise them anyway. As you can see, this is a bluebell that I pulled out just to show. They have a bulb at the end here. That's what you'll normally find if you were to move the bluebell. You'll dig this up out the ground and you can transfer them so that the next season of flowers can grow in a different location if you want that. Be sure to visit some woodlands and look out for them. And if you want to try and grow them, let me know how it goes. I'm always open for new tips and tricks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments if I missed anything. Be sure to look out for the next video and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. See you next time.